What's going on, everybody? Sean Pierce Johnson here, and I am so excited to welcome you all to Stompbox Saturday, episode 100. I'm floored that I've reached this point. It's crazy to think, and especially the fact that I'm here at the Framus and Warwick headquarters in Magdenkirchen, Germany. It has been an absolutely insane time here at GuitCon, and I can't wait to share with you all what we have in store for episode 100. We have some guests joining me on the show today that I think you're really going to enjoy, and we're going to take a little look around the floor and see what exactly happens here at GuitCon and some of the cool things that we've done. I hope you're all ready, because the first guest on the show today, we're going to be talking to Robert Keeley, and we're going to take a quick look at the Caverns V2. All right, I told you guys that I was going to make episode 100 of Stompbox Saturday very special, and it is very special indeed because we got the one and only Robert Keeley joining us. Thanks so much for doing it.
We're rocking Germany.
Yeah, we are rocking Germany.
Mark Neukirchen.
I guess so. I never actually learned. I did learn that song, but I completely forgot how to play it. Awesome. Well, we're off to a great start here, and I'm excited at what we got on the table in front of us
today. We have
the
brand new Caverns.
Yes, we do. Mm-hmm. Tell everybody at home a little bit about the evolution of Caverns.
Okay, so the evolution of Caverns. Caverns 1 was our first dual effect unit that had delay and reverb in it. And had it out for a while. It was a complete pain to build. There were so many circuit boards in it, so many things that needed to be wired, connected, this, that, to get the 2 units in that small box. Discontinued it. Dealers went, whoa, where's the Caverns? We need the Caverns. And I said, we're only going to build it if we can make it big and simple. And it's got to be a little bit crazier than the last one. And that's what we did. So we took the delay engine out of our Mag Echo, which people seem to really like, and then we had been developing shimmer. We had developed spring since then, and then we came up with something new, this modulated reverb. Sweet. So it's really got our best type effects in one stop box. Cool. You can get in there and change things like trails, true bypass. You can access each one independently. So if you put this on a big touring rig,
sweet,
and you have a switching system,
awesome.
Use TRS. Keep both pedals on, put it in the drawer, and you can access them independently.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. I wasn't sure if that was going to be a thing because it's essentially like the same footprint as the D&M.
That's right. And we took that cue from that pedal and went, wait a second. If we want to get our pedals on pro boards, we want these pedals to last a long time in guitar player world. We need to do that to help out pros.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Church
with you
guys, whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Awesome. Yeah, I know being a G2 user, like the ability to be able to put things into the individual loops, combine them any way that I want is the saving grace for me. It's very easy.
Sure.
Well, let's stop yakking about it and let's actually hear the thing.
Great.
So we're going to be using this pretty sweet PRS. I believe it's the 594. I believe, and apparently they're saying that this is special because of this rosewood neck.
Yep.
But it's beautiful.
I got a Bonnie pink one.
Really?
594.
Ooh.
Yeah, so you're playing, it's kissing cousin, I guess.
I guess so. Yeesh. Well, we're going to run into this Joyo dual clones on the vintage channel for some cleans, and we got kind of a high gain sound on the distortion channel, and we're going to run this in the effects loop so that we get the full beauty of it. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming it's going to be beautiful. Let's start it and let's do it. Like that it's got that kind of dark degradation to it, and it is, for the record, it is digital.
It is. There
you go.
We just fine-tune the repeats.
You guys have a really good way of like making digital not sound digital.
Yeah,
I just want to put that out there.
You have to. It's too bright, it's too harsh. You have to work on it quite a bit with post-processing. We can put a little bit of modulation on it too.
Let's try it.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to add a little bit. Said it crazy.
I dig it. That's
Fun
cool.
stuff there. Of course, it'll go into full-on oscillation and feedback mode.
Of course, it sounds great on cleans. I want to hear this with the distortion
Good.
sound. So let's cut to the chase and go for some big old bends. Woo!
Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to have it voiced right to sound good with distortion. So we paid a lot of attention to that on this particular one.
Yeah, definitely. I hear it. Definitely. I hear it.
You hear it.
You hear it like that. You just heard that. This is
Stompbox 100.
Stompbox 100. It's going to be special. I promised it, and I've got a cold. It's great. Well, let's move on to this reverb.
Okay,
Now
so
you-
we can do a simple spring reverb on here, but go ahead.
All right. I really dug at that one point that we had the decay really long, but it was low in the mix. So that it didn't take over everything, but it was just like, wow, there's like a spring pad underneath my playing.
Yeah, let's listen to that again. I like that too.
Wow. That's
It's fun. It's fun stuff. But we had to do something that was kind of fun and modern, so we threw in a modulated verb here. So we're gonna get.
That's got a really crazy warble to it.
It is fun.
That is fun.
It's fun. What we were trying to accommodate keyboard players and guitar players that might try to do some sort of pad sound or something like that.
Cool.
So that's what that one's for. Then lastly, we've been working on shimmer for quite a while to get a nice tone control for it and a nice blending of those upper octaves.
All right. Let's hear it.
Man, I really like all the fun stuff that goes on there because we're never satisfied with just letting octaves ring out in reverb. We want to eventually have some modulation that goes in there.
Right.
And something fun that happens if you're listening.
And there's so many companies out there that are doing the shimmer thing, and there's good ones, and then there's really bad ones.
Yeah.
There's no middle ground. This definitely resides in the really good camp. And I probably, full disclosure here, used to work for the company that I thought that makes a really great shimmer reverb. And this one kind of gets it's above that.
No joking. You did work for that. Is it New Neighbor?
Yeah. Or as Henning wants us to say, Neunaba.
Nunaba. So we are here to Nunaba you up. So
we are here to pump
you up.
You up. This is great.
But no, he is a proven leader in reverb.
Yeah.
And so part of me has to not listen to him because I don't want to be like, oh, what'd he do? Okay, I can do that too. So I try to, okay, there's shimmer out there. I know we got to make it sound good. I'll listen to the boss. I'll listen to some other ones. But yeah, he's a great designer. And not only that, but his interfaces are incredible too.
Yeah, it was the only one that when I came across it that really captured that sound in a very simple to use package. And this, of course, with just the 4 knobs for it, it's one more knob than that his shimmer reverb has. It's not that difficult to just get the handle on one extra control. And what I hear in this is that it's almost like you took that effect and it's almost like if we were able to make shimmer reverb an analog effect. There's like this slight tailoring of the highs that you don't get those recirculating octaves, and once they get to the really high pitches, they're just going straight into your ear.
Yeah.
And that was always a problem that I ran into. So when I would customize my shimmer reverb, I'd always go for that nice high-end roll-off so that it kind of, in a way, gets lost in the mix after a while when it gets to those really high frequencies.
That's exactly what we did on this algorithm. Just chopping away at those high frequencies that aren't needed or that your speaker loses, but they end up being there as some kind of annoyance if you don't round them off. So that's a lot of it. This warmth control allows you to fine tune how much you want of that, if you really want it to pop or not, or if you want it to kind of feel like really up close and a lot of presence, like it's right there, and that's what that warmth control can do.
Sweet.
And shimmer control adds the mojo, adds the uproctas.
It does. Well, let's go ahead and check out those reverbs with the dirty sound on the.
Oh, that might be pretty cool.
Yeah, I got to do my big strummed power chords with some really ambient effects.
I have to admit,
You're not going home with that.
I have to admit, I've never done that. Do that. Give me one more big A.
All right.
You hear all the fun stuff we did in the background there? Is that cool? Aaron Tackett is the DSP guy. and he always leaves little Easter eggs for me, man. Is that cool?
That's so cool.
It's fun.
I think what is amazing about this is we're getting to hear this. Actually, we're recording the Klons through a Torpedo studio, and we've got a stereo studio monitor set up, so we're getting like a pretty wide spread, and it's filling this room.
Mm-hmm.
This room isn't huge, but it's also not small. There's high ceilings. Actually, thankfully, the reverb has been tamed a little bit so that we can hear the full amazingness that is the Caverns. This thing is great. Like I said, you're not leaving with it.
Okay.
Just so you know. Just so you know.
That's all right. I've already acquired some other guy's Telecaster.
Ah!
So he wasn't going to leave with it either. I'm taking
man.
the guitar.
Well, this was a lot of fun. I really like it.
Congratulations, man, on Stompbox 100. So when did you start it?
Oh my God, 4 years ago.
That's cool.
Yeah, 4 years ago.
It's difficult to do all that and keep up with it and stay focused and speak,
I think the most difficult thing is just making sure that the people that you work with, like yourself, are constantly, like, you build a good relationship with them.
Right.
And for me, that's paramount. If I'm not giving them something that they're satisfied with, and if I don't feel satisfied by what they're giving me, then it's going to be really hard for me to keep doing it. Now, of course, like we both got on a panel last night here at GuitCon talking about pedals, and this phrase, the golden age, came up a lot.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just become a thing of, well, yeah, we've got this golden age going, but where do we take it, What do we do?
I think, after that discussion last night, I continued to talk with Tora of TC Electronic, and we think that it's our job to make it easier for musicians to express themselves. There's no form of expression with, say, a tube screamer, but there is something that we can now start to program in a lot easier, and that is being dynamic or expressive or having something that's envelope controlled. It's trying to listen to your playing attack, and so that you can, alter the way this effect responds, whether it be with your pick attack or with expression controls or with some sort of user interface that allows you to program dynamic control into it. Yeah. And I think those type of interfaces or those type of things where players can be emotive with the effect, it's kind of what we're striving for.
Yeah, it's like you can't get in the way of, to use the famous Pro Tools expression, when it inhibits your creative workflow. When a piece of gear does that, it's off in the corner, back in the box, back in the closet, back to the store.
Yeah.
If something is simple and easy to run, then that I think is why I choose pedals over, like a rack system. Is that, that control says warmth. Okay. In my head, I already kind of know what that means.
Yeah.
So they're very easy ways to get sound. I love it. This one sounds great.
What's in store for the next 100 Stompbox Saturdays?
What's in store for the next 100? I wish I could tell you. Just that it's going to be more of the same, and hopefully it's going to get better, and hopefully I'm going to get better, and hopefully all of you out there will keep watching, because I wouldn't do it if people weren't watching. Actually, I probably would do it if people weren't watching, just because it's so cool for me as, like, this is kind of a part of a dream of a 14-year-old boy. Yeah. So it's like...
Yours are fun to watch. Plus,
Thank
you got some killer gear on there. The Steve Vai thing.
Oh, yeah. That was fun.
That was pretty cool.
That was fun.
I love the giveaways that you did and everything else.
Thank you.
Stay focused. Stay subscribed.
Oh, man. I can't appreciate the fact that we've come to this relationship, and that you show the support. I'll show as much support back to you guys as I possibly can. So thank you so much,
buddy.
Robert. It was great having you.
Yep.
Stay tuned for more guest appearances. We're going to go take a little walk around the GuitCon floor and see what that's all about.
Stuck in the stagnance is where I lie. Between life and death, let's call it half-life. Things don't get better and can't get worse. Don't know what to feel inside. I can't move left, I can't move right. I'm stuck in the sand with no help inside. Try as I may, there's no escape. Don't know what to feel inside. What brought me here to this place of waste and pain? Dull to the memory, will just wanna wake up with all these problems solved. I just wanna heal. I just wanna feel like I did before I lived this half life. Lost on the long and winding road. I'm getting nowhere but getting there slow. I'm searching for something that might be light. Don't know if I'll ever find it. Lost in a dream with waking eyes. Don't know if it's real or just a disguise. I'll open the curtain, it's open wide. Don't know if I'll ever find it. I'm here to this place of waste and pain. Down to the memory, will it come again? I just wanna break. I just wanna wake up with all these problems solved. I just wanna heal. I just wanna feel like I did before I lived this half life. Each day I find this mountain's grown higher. No matches left to set it on fire. Each night I find no sleep, my brain's on wire. I can't keep feeling this way.
It was an absolute blast talking to Robert. He's always been one of my favorite people to do business with in this industry. He's an incredibly generous man, incredibly nice, and has supported me doing many different videos for him and has brought us Keeley month this past summer, which I can't thank him enough for. It was an absolutely fun time. But now we move on. As if Robert Keeley wasn't enough, another round of special guests join me today on Stompbox Saturday 100. It's the one and only Dan and Mick from That Pedal Show. Well, there you go. Like I said, I was gonna make it special, and look at who I got with me right now. This is a real honor. Dan and Mick from That Pedal Show. Gents, thank you so much for joining me.
Our
for
pleasure.
this.
Our pleasure.
It is so cool to have you guys here. These guys probably do like my favorite pedal-related show. No, I don't think mine is the best out
That's
there.
Stompbox Saturday. Surely that's Stompbox Saturday.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. That guy is such a hack. That guy's such a hack.
Oh,
But-
you're creaking, Dan. You're creaking.
That's the me.
That is you. Just
It's not me.
production value, people.
It's the
Yeah,
drum.
yeah.
It's the drum still.
Yeah.
There you go.
Drum stool.
Drum stools. Why'd they give us this stuff?
First,
There's no.
piece of advice. First piece of advice for anyone out there making YouTube videos: get yourself non-creaky stools.
This is very true. We actually used a drum throne for like the first 50 videos that I ended up doing, and just like so I'm talking.
It's on our first videos as well.
Well,
it's great.
Well, the thing is, like, you can't start out perfect. Everything starts out as an experiment.
Of course.
And it's never going to be right away perfect. It takes a good while to get into the groove. And you guys certainly have gotten to a groove.
Is this yours?
I wish it was mine. It's beautiful 594.
It's really nice.
PRS have lent it to me for the show today.
Very pretty.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It sounds great too.
Where's your Les Paul?
My Les Paul, I had to leave at home.
Okay.
3 cracks in the headstock. It just
Really?
Yeah, it was.
It's a nice sounding Les Paul.
Thank
yours.
you.
It's very nice.
Thank you.
It has a clean tone, where a lot of Les Pauls struggle for a clean tone. The clean tone of your Les Paul is very nice.
It was really difficult with that guitar, especially around the time that I did all the work to it, because I had that guitar since I was like 14 years old, and it had done me really well, but I had left it out in the car one too many nights, and the condensation had gotten on the pickups. And I actually, when I put the Duncans in there that are in there now, you could see like little bits of rust on the screws and the pole pieces. So I don't know what that might have done to the wiring, but I had started noticing like my bridge pickup sounds really warm, like really warm. So I'm pleased to hear you say that, because I constantly think that like there is very few Les Pauls that I can play that actually get a good clean sound.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Awesome.
It's great.
Well, I appreciate that compliment. And one big compliment I'm going to give you guys is because of this guy right here. Love it.
I just cannot get on board with cab sims.
We should make this a video full of advice. The second piece of advice I have is we were just with Phil X downstairs.
Oh man! He was, oh my goodness,
Right?
that guy.
Who's, you know, Phil's pretty rock and roll.
Just a little bit.
He plays his E without the major third. Dan, can you demonstrate?
Funnily enough, the Edge plays his E, so he doubles the B string.
So if you want to rock and you're playing with distortion and you find that major third, could you bend it a bit sharp for me, Dan? Okay, that's how it goes for a lot of people when they play an E major. Just mute it.
Yeah.
I'm not rock. I'm so not rock I can't even do it.
You're not rock. Oh, what?
Is that not obvious by now?
Yeah, okay, I guess it's a little obvious by now. Which obviously is why there's 2 drive pedals on the D&M. You guys have the distinction of being the only pedal to get the wife's seal of approval. This is amazing, because that means I get to have one. And it's not going to be one of those purchases that's like, why did you buy another pedal? But babe, it's the D&M Drive. Okay, I gotta know a little bit about the origins of this, because there are definitely some ideas of, you guys are fans of the King of Tone, and it sounds great. Mm-hmm. I hear some people say, oh, they basically just got their own version of that, but I don't hear that.
No, it's not that.
Yeah, we took a King of Tone, copied it completely, and a clone, copied them, absolutely, said, Robert, just copy this component for component and put it in the D&M Drive. And Robert said, sure. That is exactly
you heard it here first.
That is exactly the way we do business. So
yeah.
No, look, I've been a fan of Mr. Keeley for a long time. I've had my original blues drive that he modded for me 10 plus years ago. Love his work. The guy is a legend, and as this developed and we got to meet him and talk to him, which was an amazing moment for me personally.
Yeah.
And he is just the best guy, and he was, the first NAMM we got to meet him, was like, yeah, you got 5 minutes? I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. So they come aside. So we just went out for a walk outside and had a chat, and I was like, the whole time going, Robert Keeley.
Yeah. And then he says, the minute the idea for a pedal comes about, Dan, I think you sent me a text actually, and said Keeley's up for doing a pedal, and I'm like, who with?
But with it, because I play more of the rock without a major third, what I need is an over. So this is my side, and if you have a listen to this is the clean tone of the amplifier, and then with my side kicked in. It doesn't fundamentally change the frequency EQ of the amplifier. So, and especially for my rhythm sound, because what I find with that sound, I can still play pretty high gain. And that sound actually doesn't get in the way of vocals too much. So it still gives the love.
Yeah.
And, so I sent Robert a list of the pedals that really worked for me, frequency-wise.
HM2, Metal Zone.
Nailed it.
Dan Electro, Black Licorice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, we just had conversations about it. I think one of Robert's gifts is, because he knows the ins and outs of every pedal, but after the conversations about the things that we really liked, so obviously, for me, it was King of Tone, Keeley Model Blues Driver, OCD, the things that have a fairly standard, like it doesn't change the fundamental EQ of the amplifier.
Right.
But I need someone with lots of headroom, so that I can bring the gain right down and the level up and use it as more of a boost. Because that sound, and that's with the overdrive on, that sound is very different to this.
That extra little color on top. And that right there is the mojo. It's that extra little color on top.
Yep.
That, because I like certain neutral clean boosts, but for me, I like something that gets a little bit of color on top of the tone, because sterile, like just straight clean, you really got to find the right amp for it.
Absolutely,
And historically, it's interesting because, to use your term, sterile clean didn't exist between 1955 when rock and roll was invented,
Right.
and maybe the 1980s.
Late
Yeah.
And even
70s.
then, it still didn't really exist until modern new metal.
Subfaced in 70.
But that wasn't clean either if you turned it up.
Because
Because if you're talking about any classic rock and roll guitar sound from Elvis to Van Halen, and there wasn't much clean in Van Halen, but you know what I mean. It was all a cranked amp turned down,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
On the guitar.
Yeah.
So you retain the harmonic content of. Sorry, I touched you. You
Finally.
maintain the harmonic. He has a restraining order.
Oh boy. This is going to make
I
filming.
have many. I've got a number.
This is going to make filming future episodes really weird. Just saying.
But yeah, so just to pick up on what you were saying, Sean, I think that extra that you're talking about is the harmonic content of the amp that's really working, regulated with the guitar.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's
what
very different from just a straight, as you say, sterile, clean sound.
It's
We're
a dynamic
useful in a
thing.
different world.
It has an element of dynamics in its own
Yeah.
right. So anyway, on to mix side.
Okay, so it's so weird saying I like this and I like that, because the truth is Stevie Ray Vaughan and David Grissom and Robin Ford and all the players that I love and idolise tend to use a more mid-boosty sound.
Right.
And I first found that sound in 808 Tube Screamer, modded by Keeley. I'd had Tube Screamers before, I got the Keeley modded one, had a little more bottom, a little more top, actually a little more gain as well. And that, because I was a Stevie Ray freak, that was the sound for me. And then as time went on, I discovered the Klon, which for all the silliness you read online about whether the Klon's good, bad or otherwise, it is a sound that works
Right.
into an amp that's kind of half cooking. So whether it's a Plexi or a Super Reverb or an AC30, doesn't matter what the amp is, that pedal has that headroom and that kind of... Tube Screamer has a key frequency in the low mid range, and it has a lot of bottom rolled off.
Yeah.
The Klon takes that, it moves it up a little bit, and it also adds a bit of, I don't want to talk frequencies too much, but I reckon it's about 3K-ish, 3 to 4K, real key guitar frequency for cutting through.
Yeah, definitely.
So, long story short, when we spoke to Keeley about the mix side, it was, can we do something that lives in that world? Something 8080, but with the headroom and the kind of spike of what we like about the Klon. And so that's what it does. So if you set the gain all the way off and the level up, here's the clean sound of the amp. Man, I so need my guitar set up. Listen. And then with no gain on the mix side. It's a little weird right now because we're hearing it through studio monitors and there's a whole bunch of frequencies I don't understand there. But I hope what the recorder is hearing is just what we were talking about before, a little bit of hair.
Yeah.
What surprises a lot of people, if you turn the tone up, it can get quite glassy.
It can. And I think that's actually my favorite thing about it is the way I took it, because I kind of had it in my head, like, well, maybe mixed side is more like a clon. I liked turning the gain all the way down and using the level to get my boost, because that would give me that color. But then using the tone control, it had that brightness that I wanted so that I could get all that articulation that I want.
And without making this video 3 hours long, that brightness is so key. I'll come back to Phil X. We were lucky enough at GuitCon last night to be in a venue and hear Phil X play at serious volume with a bass player and a drummer. And he came on, and when he was sound checking his Framus guitar through the, what kind of amp was he playing? Maybe it was a Rev.
I want to say he was playing a Rev.
Yeah, it was piercing.
Yep, sharp.
It was piercing and sharp. The minute the rest of the guys opened up, it's absolutely relevant.
Perfect.
And you can hear the guitar, and it's... So we've had some guys say, oh man, there's too much level and too much treble in the D&M Drive. We're like, yeah, you know what? You can turn those two things down, but in the context of a band where you need the cut and you need the level, if there's no more, you can't get it, but you can.
I think there's so many pedals that certainly that we're aware of that, you know, when you're in the shop and you turn them on, it's like, oh yeah, it's great. But as soon as you get them in the mix where you've got the sibilance from the cymbals and you've got the frequency from a bass player who uses, you know, a lot of mid and clack, and you know, there's so much going on frequency wise. If you don't have that, the attack and the articulation at the top end, the guitar will just be a bit of noise in the background.
Yeah.
You know. So anyway,
and this is if you like Strats and you like the in-between position on your Strats, this is where you get that glassy.
And you hear the fingers with that.
However, could you just let the reverb go? If you hit that with the PRS now.
It's just so good.
You go from glassy stratty, you know, let's say John Mayery, if you want to say that, it'll do that, through to rock. I mean, that had that upper mid-range thing that you hear with Angus and you hear with any great classic rock guitar sound. I think that's that 3K, 4K thing. Yeah. That's where that lives.
Yeah, but also that lovely sort of upper 900s, that lifting just below 1K, and it's just, it has a lot of that into it as well. But
it's
one
like me on the bench press.
But one of the things that was, you know, we use a lot of gain stacking on the show, and we knew that, okay, if Mick loves his side and I love my side, then theoretically they should stack well together. But we weren't prepared for how great they sound together. So this is Nick, if you want to play this.
You sound like a sales guy, Dan.
Well, no, it's interesting.
Sell away.
No.
Sell out.
We can't.
You can't?
To tell how that sounds with the monitors, because it's just
for the record, we're mic and cab guys, and we are using a cab sim for this, so
we don't have any point of reference.
No.
Anyway.
If you could line all the people in the world up who like cab simulation, and I would be stood at the end of that queue. It's great, it really works in the studio, and if you sat there and you got your part and the engineer and you trust the engineer and he's going to go, don't worry, it sounds fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry, or she says, don't worry, it sounds fine. And you're going, okay, great. But man, it's a weird sound, isn't it?
But you're also, I mean, it's talking to...
sorry, it's not the cab sim's fault.
No.
It's the fact you're listening through studio monitors.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah. Talking to Pete Thorne, and he uses the cab sims a lot.
Yeah, he
gets
does.
an amazing sound, but he, when I look at the front panel of those things, I'm like, I've just no idea. But he
Right.
knows the gear.
And that's coming from you.
Yeah, and then, I mean, obviously you can work it out, but it's not something that you can just plug and play.
Yeah.
You can't just plug into those things and expect it to sound amazing. And we've got, 20 YouTubers here, all with different rigs and different ideas of tone, plug into this thing going, expecting it to sound awesome without
Right.
really knowing the gear. So, the cab sims can work great, but you've got to know them inside out. Like,
So those are our excuses, but here's
Yeah.
what happens when you turn the gain up. Because we like that.
Yes, we do.
Inspired?
amazing.
Just, so good. But the other thing that I, of course, have to talk to you guys about is, of course, I'm a G2 user.
Oh, bless you.
And I love it. It saved my ass so many times. And you've got it on the Schmidt Array board.
Yep.
Right now,
Yep.
which I really like and think I might have to invest in.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that I think you guys do that's on your show is you're always changing the board, but the board always looks really clean. I don't know.
There is a secret.
I want. What's the secret? Tell me.
Don't look underneath.
Don't look underneath.
There you go.
Yeah. It's like,
She's a messy, messy lady.
yeah, if you go to a clean person's house and everything looks fine, look in a cupboard.
Yeah.
There lies the true story.
Yeah, it's...
Do you call them cupboards in the States?
Yeah.
Closet, maybe?
Well, we have closets are big
Right.
here in the States. Well, no, not here in the States. Closets are big in the States. Cupboards are like your kitchen cupboards where you
Yeah.
have your spices and your coffee
Yeah.
and things like that.
Look behind any door that is a storage space, and that tells the story. Which
Yeah.
is what would happen if you looked underneath there now, which we're not going to do.
Well, there you go. But the thing that I love about being able to have a switching system as intuitive as that, and being able to swap out things so easily, it just has made my life and my gigging so simple that I don't have to do the tap dance anymore. When you build a board for either someone, too bad we don't have your name drop horn, because we could drop a lot of names right now. We could just have one long honk.
You're like a foghorn.
When you go into building a board for yourself or going into building a board for any of the clients that you've built for, we won't name names, what are some of the things that you try to keep in mind, something that we can share with the folks watching if they're trying to build a board, how they can keep it clean and so that they don't have cables breaking and their signal doesn't drop?
Sure. Okay. Everything that I do is based on being able to take the unnecessary things out of the signal path when they're not being used.
Yeah.
That and clean power. That's everything. If you can get those two sorted, you're fine.
How important is power, Dan?
Power is everything.
Power is
everything. If you, nothing else matters if you don't have power right. So, and power is what's going to give your, the guy that designed the pedal designed it to sound in a certain way using the correct power source.
Of course.
If you're sending not enough current or voltage to your pedal, it's just not going to sound right. If it's not isolated properly, all that stuff. So, power hugely important. When it comes to the actual signal path, everyone's different. Like again, I'm talking to Phil X. He has 2 overdrive pedals. He doesn't need this. This would be overkill. But I use lots of pedals, and without this, I'd be lost. So if I'm going to do a client's, if they've asked me to sort something out for them, I'm not thinking about switching systems or anything from the start. I just want to find out how they're using their pedals. You know, what sort of sounds they're looking. Are they using combinations? We did a video with the amazing Matt Schofield, and it was incredible. So he has 2 delays. One is always on, one or the other, never together. And then he has a tuner and 3 overdrive pedals, and one of those is always on. He never stacks them. It's either one delay and one of those pedals.
That's it, isn't it?
Right?
No,
That's
and
it.
overdrive in the delay, nothing more.
Overdrive and delay, never uses anything else.
Wow.
But the 6 pedals that he had, when those things are chained in and out, you can get a little bit of signal loss. So what we did, and Matt has some of the best ears of any guitar player I've ever heard. You know, he's so sensitive to everything.
He plays a 2-rock turned up
Yeah.
Oh my God.
at every gig. And so, you know, that might not sound that unusual to a lot of people, but for those of us, you know, out doing a few gigs and understanding what's happening to stage volumes, to actually, well, I'm going to fall over, to actually crank one of those things properly, high headroom, super clean. Actually, it's not clean because he's cranking it.
Mm.
It's loud, and therefore, and he's a feel player, and every
all
single
touch.
nuance of everything to him, and he has dog ears.
Honestly, it's unbelievable. So, you know, the first thing that he noticed was, because we used a couple of quartermasters, which is the simple sort of strip loopers, and he was stunned, just getting the chain of things out of the robe and not being used. So, you know, it's a very simple rig. He can put it in a little, it's like on a tiny little pedal train thing, puts in a soft case.
He said he went down 2 notches, if you like, on all of his pedals, just by doing that, by doing nothing else than adding a strip looper and the right power.
Yeah, because the signals we're receiving, they weren't being loaded down by anything. So, so
crazy. Yeah,
but that's it. If you get the stuff out of the way that you're not using, you know, sometimes a switcher is really good for that. You know, a really good quality switcher, and good power. That's everything.
Well, there you go.
You know.
Good power, and how exactly you're using your pedals, and then maybe you just need to get some crap out of the way.
Yeah.
I like
absolutely.
it.
That's even before you get into, I think, your original question, which is, you know, I can switch 5 pedals off and 4 on, and my amp channel, and send a MIDI message to my Big Sky.
Right.
Is the Big Sky the big one or the little one?
Big one.
Yeah.
Is the
Yeah.
Blue Sky's the little one.
Blue Sky's the little one.
Well, there
And
you
you can
go.
do all that with one touch. So that's what most people see when they look at it first. What they don't expect is how much improvement it makes to the core tone.
Yeah, and that's is on the show, because we try and do a number of pedals at a time. You know, the switcher isn't there to get rid of tap dancing. It's there so that you're hearing the pedal in its best environment.
Right.
You know, and that's everything. Well, you know, one of the things about our show is that we've really put a lot of time into, since the beginning of the show. We're always pushing, especially the audio. I mean, the visuals as well, but especially the audio, seeing and trying stuff, and because that side of things is so important to us, especially with the compression of YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, if it doesn't go in sounding
Great.
A's, what you're going to get at the end.
For anyone that says, oh, it doesn't matter, it's only going to get compressed on YouTube anyway, it's not true.
It still
You
matters.
still got to start with the best thing possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the same way. And I think we're getting the go home cue.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
No,
we
come on,
are. Well,
We're just getting warmed up.
we'll just have to continue this party some other time.
All right.
Yeah.
How about
Okay.
that?
Oh, that was quick.
Well, guys,
Well,
thank you.
our videos are normally, you know, hour and a half long, so this is like, you know, we've just said hi.
Well, hey, let's try to get a good chunk of time, and we can have that, you know, long session.
Or we can just hang and have a couple of beers.
Well, let me get rid of whatever's in my head out.
Oh, because you've not been feeling well.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Maybe by Friday, or maybe by tomorrow night.
Okay.
Starting to pop the vitamin C. Anyway, that's neither
All right.
here nor there. Guys, thank you so much.
Our
for
pleasure,
being a part.
and we love your show.
Oh, thank you
And
so much.
you know,
Stompbox Saturday.
Stompbox Saturday.
Actually, you're going to be watching this on his channel anyway.
Yeah. But
We shall link
well
to
done,
it.
man. It's fantastic. You're doing some really good stuff.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You guys are always one of my weekly watches.
Bless you.
There you go, guys. Dan and Mick from That Pedal Show. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Let's see some more from the GuitCon floor.
Right now.
I'm doing top secret stuff with Tor. We're possibly gonna do something cool. It might involve this like tone word that people like to use.
And then the last thing we have is the mesh foot switch, which allow you to change parameters in real time by pressure, and you can also assign parameters to that. So it's pretty much like here's
multiple parameters.
It's
because if it's we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun. Switch on the dark matter real quick.
Okay, so this is stored, so let's try out.
But you can keep it in the loop, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you're just taking out the...
I'm just taking out the USB cable without unplugging
cool.
Well, I guess I have to buy something.
What, these? No, we'll send you those.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
that's the least we can do for you
spending
the time to do this.
Oh,
yeah.
well,
I always get the pedal that you do.
Did not realize that I was going to get the pedals that I made the tone grid for.
Thank you so much.
It's your signature pedal, so you cannot own your own signature pedal.
I'm having a moment here. I'm having a moment. I'm sweating. I'm about to cry. And that, my friends, is Stompbox Saturday 100. What can I say after doing this show for basically 4 years and doing it consistently and doing it in the face of sometimes some pretty insurmountable odds? I can't believe that I'm still here, but I appreciate the fact that I'm still here doing it, and I appreciate all of you for watching. I do this because I have fun doing it. I do it because I enjoy gear. I do it because I enjoy pedals, but mostly because I love music. These stomp boxes that I demo, yeah, sure, there's some technicalities to them, and there are some cool specs to them, and they make some cool sounds, but at the end of the day, what I always want to strive to show you guys and girls out there watching is that these little stomp boxes are meant to help us make music for the world. It's not about us just sitting and playing with these little toys. We want to have some fun. We want to have a good time. But we also need to make something beautiful, and that's what I always aim to do. I appreciate you all subscribing. I appreciate you all watching. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. So let's make the next 100 as exciting as the first. And until next time, I wish you all, as always, great tone and happy stomping. Thank you.
I'd give you some help, but you insist that you're well.